and in the US. Yes,
eras of Abacha.
Yeah, Abacha. Up to Yaradua.
Exactly.
And all that. So I'm glad that you are also involved in this. We all have a duty to get Samuel Jackson out of this unjust, unlawful, and inhuman condition of legal limbo that has been
10 years
validated by the Supreme Court. And it's happening at the time that these same Marelos are killing people all the way from Maiduguri to Port Harcourt.
with impunity.
Yes, they're killing people in their farms with impunity. Whereas we do not classify this as an ethnic issue, we classify it as a failure of those in government who have the duty to protect citizens who have refused to get involved and to do what is right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard it all. This is Samuel Jackson that we have to fight for again, and we want to ensure that he gets out of this cul-de-sac into which he's been put. So we are calling on.
It's just like a reminder, before you know it right now, we'll be in 2035. And then some of you will be like, oh, I remember, is the guy still in prison? He's still there, especially those of you who are in the group of, instead of you to stand up and defend yourselves. I've told you this before, that those who are enabling the terrorists, right? They don't want them to be defeated. And that is why, if you pay attention very well, Nigeria is a place where the terrorists are rehabilitated, while activists are treated as terrorists. So therefore, the activists are jailed. Terrorists are rehabilitated in Nigeria. Don't pretend you don't know that. That's something. So you have to choose what you want to become. I mean, you want to be like, do you want to be a terrorist or you want to be an activist? So those of you who say, we should stand up and fight, you also need to remember this, all right? I remember under Bokwari, it was a national project to disarm Nigerians. It was like it's so pre-planned, right? To disarm Nigerians and then unleash the armed terrorists on them. So that conversation like this can happen, and we can continue to have the conversation like this. We can continue to have it. Say, let's continue to have the conversation about Fulani terrorists. Don't call them that. Yes, I'll call them that because they are Fulani terrorists. My friend, listen, let me tell you, anybody can be criminal. Can you call them Yoruba terrorists? Yes, if they go to Sokoto to kidnap people, ransack villages, burn down villages, kidnap, kill people, we'll call them Yoruba terrorists, if that is. All right? There's nothing like that. The only one we have are those who claim that because they are from the Sahel and they have to feed cows. These days, we don't even see cows anymore. We just see bikes. So we call them that. So they disarmed Nigerians. That if they see you with gun, then gun, no, Baba, they will parade you in front of their cameramen and say you were caught. This man was caught with 3 guns. They show you the gun. It could be all those shakabula that you have to take your time. You can even sing the whole album of 5, Davido's latest one. You can sing the whole thing while you are trying to make just one. Now, one shot or you won't make it. Trying to make sure that the gunpowder settled very well. After that, you have to make sure that first it is on the ground like that. Hey, you have to call your ancestors because they have to go with you. Here you get. Call them here, you do this, you do this, you do this. Then you point it. As you are pointing it as well, you still have to be saying some certain things. That's the gun. But the AK-47 wielding terrorist is there with his guns and his phone and his victim on his TikTok recording, laughing, showing their victims, showing the ransoms, because nobody is looking for them. That's what you have in that place, right? And I think that's what this Showere's friend had to say. this country.
It looks like on this planet, there are two countries that worship cows. One is the Hindus, and then we in Nigeria. Because cows seem to have a greater protection and constitutional rights than the Nigerian citizen. Now, what is very upsetting to me is that we have a court system that will contort the meanings of the Constitution to accommodate the police and vices of politicians. But in a situation where the Constitution clearly says that this judgment should have been rendered within 90 days, it was rendered 167 days afterwards. And they didn't even pick up on this to try and help this man out. Some of the things that have been claimed in the judgment is that he should have run away. But the evidence shows that he was stabbed in the leg. How does the person who is stabbed in the leg run? Secondly, these Fulani headsmen are very agile. They live in the forest, and so they're in better shape. And Sunday said he ran, but the man overtook him. So these are some of the reasons why we're concerned about this judgment. The judgment says that to all extents possible, he fulfilled and met the thresholds for being leading the defense of self-defense, because he was not the aggressor. It was the attacker's weapon that he used to strike back. But they said because the man stabbed him 2 times and he stabbed the man 3 times, that it is excessive. That does not even make any sense. Common sportsmanship that we know, the rule of every game is that the person who scores the most wins. This was a game, a battle for life. Only one person was coming out of this battle alive, and that each person wanted to be the one. The fact that he stabbed him only 3 times, in fact, in my mind, tells me that he was a very good person. But because any other person in that situation would have stabbed him up to several times to make sure that, first of all, you came, you destroyed my farm with your tattoo. I spoke to you, then you wanted to kill me. He was a victim of double assault that day, and he defended himself. And after suffering for 10 years in prison, the Nigerian government wants to kill him. Very honestly, Sunday Jackson, it would have been better for him if he had been killed that day than to suffer what he has suffered. His wife has died. Before she died, she gave birth to a child that he has never seen. The child is now 10 years old without a father. And then after all this suffering, you want to kill him again. Wouldn't it have been better for him to have died 10 years ago than to die now? And so he has already served time for an offense he didn't commit. He woke up that day not planning to fight anyone or kill anyone. He was trying to kill his family. Nigeria has failed this revolution. Our legal system has failed these people. And he's a poor man. That is why, but for the grace of God, if we hadn't spoken out on this issue, his life would have just gone just like that.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And we're very grateful in conclusion.
Like, I mean, you watching that, you can put your 1 and 2 together and know that this is the mess, right? But it is deliberate. It is to help further expose the rotten Nigeria's criminal justice system. The system is, the justice system is so criminal. It's not even like the criminal justice system that treats the criminals, no? A system occupied by criminals. You will never see justice. You won't get justice. A compromised system. You know what I mean? It's sad. And to buttress his own point, the last guy, this man didn't leave his house to go and kill somebody that day. He was out to go and work so that he could feed his own family. Then he met this Fulani terrorist, right, that chose to end his life. And like he said, it was obvious there was only one person coming out alive. The Supreme Court says he stabbed him 3 times, but the Fulani terrorist only stabbed him 2 times. He fought and got the knife. He used the same attacker's knife. The attacker stabbed him twice to kill him. He struggled, he got the knife, fought him, stabbed him 3 times. And the attacker died from his injury. And somebody who was on his own, it's like somebody coming to, attacker coming into your own house. And people say, why didn't you run outside? Why didn't you just run away from him? Like, where would you want me to run to? Where? That is Nigeria's criminal justice system. The reason why we will continue to mention this is because an innocent man, like many, many others, who are currently languishing in Nigeria prison, while the real criminals are walking about, driving in bulletproof vehicles, being protected with, heavy security men and women all over the place. Sad. Yeah, justice or no justice, right? It's always great to kind of like, stand for something. And justice is justice tonight. It's not like a justice or justice. Okay, well, either way. So something happened at Obafemi Awolowo University, Ilefe. Today, most of you have seen that, right? It was Were Wike. Wike was invited as a guest speaker at something. And in the process, some of the students, right, carried a placard asking Wike to leave their campus. Is that, and the brief drama actually made it to the headlines in Nigeria. Because initially they said it was the DSS who took them, and nobody knew where they took them to. Well, people have now come out to say, no, they only told them to leave the hall, this event.
It demands honesty, that you demolish their houses, fairness, and justice. Minister Wike.
Yeah, so they had to come in. Put it up. So they were protesting the demolition of people's homes in Abuja. Maybe some of them, their parents have become homeless. While they were in school, they received calls to say, don't come back home. We don't get home here again. We are now packing everything left on our way to Ijero Ikiti. Somebody can see where the Wike dressed like I'm just picturing what could have been, because they didn't ask for any other thing. It's like they are not happy to see the man who puts many people on the streets by demolishing their homes and revoking their lands. So you can expect that. Now, away from that, in Osun State, it is being rumored. I don't know how many of you saw the pictures. Maybe you did. Pictures of Davido, his dad, then his uncle, Governor Ade Jackson Ajogbafida of Osun. They went to go and see Tifnumbu in his house. I think it was yesterday. No, it was 2 days ago. Anyway, so yesterday the whole pictures made it to the internet and people started reacting, including this guy from Osun, because the impression right now is that among those who are still going to join Tifnumbu in the APC, let me remind you some of the list again. This Umba of Enugu, Diri of Bayelsa, to crack my brain. Anyway, now they are mentioning this guy. Give me a second. Let's start again. Right. Adeleke, that's Governor Ajogbafida. So they are saying that, Adeleke is going for second term. I think the election is 2026. Is it? Yeah, next year, or maybe next year. So it's being rumored that Adeleke is also about to go and join them in APC. Like I said, it's just rumor. But some people don't react already. They don't want them, they don't want him, and like in Lagos, maybe you should pay attention to this one too.
I want to say this categorically that APC ticket is not for sale. As a matter of fact, as at now, as at today, we don't see Adeleke as member or part of APC as a party. Let me be sincere with you. The APC in Osun State remain the party to beat. And I want to tell you that if not because of the fear of unknown that is disturbing Adeleke family and PDP, they wouldn't have shown the intention of coming to APC. And we have been saying this times without number, that APC are fully on ground in Osun. If not because of the year 2022 and that of 2023, we shouldn't have officials across the state in Osun. Now, once the Adeleke family and PDP that they should remain calm, that no space for PDP or Adeleke in APC. APC ticket, come rain, come sunshine, is not for sale for Adeleke family. Thank you.
Now people have reacted that one no, is only exercising a symptom of delusion, because what APC Egbekegbe is known for is that so if they have gone to go and see Kolu, and Kolu that is looking to look good to everyone, that he's got no opposition by 2027, so he would welcome Adeleke. Like he's going to welcome a seamless full barrack, right? So I saw that elsewhere. That's why I shared it with you. Like, pay attention, no, because if you hear that Adeleke said, "Don't go APC," no begin the act like, oh, yeah, that's who they are. You know? So it's still going to get to that stage that it will always be. I mean, it will always be like say one party thing, right? As it is, right? And except there is any new shock that we're going to get from the obedience, the coalition as well, right? This is where this is what you call the height of your power. And at that point, after the bubble, when a boss remain, so pay attention. In that same motion, it seems that Emir of Iwo, the Dangbana Rashidi, the Emir of Iwo, has now rebranded, or is rebranding himself again. He said, people should start calling him Alaafin of Iwo. Yeah, Alaafin Iwo, still in Osun State.
Èmi ọmọ ẹ̀tù ní ìfẹ́dúró àjẹjù aláàfin. Ẹsẹ̀ ń pè mí lólùwò.
Aláàfin Ìwó. I mean, we have all these guys holding important, sensitive, political, traditional positions. I don't know. When I asked you earlier that who is your role model? Where are you going to learn patriotism from? From these clowns? Funny. Yeah, how funny. You don't understand. When I saw people, there are guys called the MDM. So I think they are also called Aye. Yeah? Is that what you call Aye, MDM? Please correct me. Well, that's not the point. What happened is that the Dodoyo governor of Edo State, Odoyo, right, declared war on courtists and courtesan, like bad behavior in Edo State. So far, so good. He has demolished like 2 buildings suspected to be houses owned or connected to these court groups because of the violence and all that, killings and all that. But yesterday, the 4th of June, they had to take Edo State to government, to court. Now, the surprise of so many people is that how can a court group take government to court? They said, no, we are legally registered organization. We are not court group, like they are saying. Edo State.
Agree follow Tory people talk, but Chief Regina Ashiwu will be the MDM head lawyer and one Obuge member of the movement as them they yarn with Tory people, Koya said them get strong confidence for their case.
This counsels to MDM of Africa. MDM of Africa is a charitable, non-governmental organization that its secretariat was illegally demolished by the state government of Edo State. Edo State government predicated on an obnoxious law. Although MDM as an organization was not mentioned in that law. But before a state government, a responsible state government, will demolish any property that belongs to any person or any organization, there must be an order of court to that. And that singular reckless act of the state government of Edo State is what we are here in court today to challenge and to declare it unconstitutional. We must fight this fight using the instruments of law. 2 wrongs have never made a right. They accused our clients, MDM of Africa, of being a cult organization that harbor cultists. And to a reasonable human being, it is not necessary to raise a blanket action on an organization. No doubt assuming without considering there are few miscreants in that organization, it has not made that organization a proscribed organization. After all, my client is well registered with the CSC of this country in accordance with the law of the country. And in view of that, they should have challenged the registration before taking any other steps to demolish it if there was prima facie evidence of their allegations. But they didn't do that. But instead, they went on without notice, maliciously, without fair hearing, without anything, without even recourse to the leadership of the organization, without giving them notice to come and take anything from it, and demolished everything. I've seen the pictures of the place, a gigantic building, well furnished, that even other people that are not members utilize this for their social functions. How then will you do that? How then will you do that? We are here today in the Federal High Court before Honorable Justice Chukwubiozo to ventilate our grievances. And we believe with what happened in this court today, we will get justice. Edo State government will be the last illegal demolition they do is this, because they will pay heavily for what they have meted out on our clients. The next dates have been adjourned to 16, and we will be here again, 16th of June 2025. We will come back here again to see that this, our case, is advanced in the interest of everybody, in the interest of everybody, in the interest of everybody. Not only my clients, but all other related organizations, registered organizations.
My name is Dr. Sir Chukwubiozo. I'm the president of MDM of Africa, Upper Southeast. We're here today with our team of lawyers to challenge the illegal demolition of financial headquarters at Benin by the Edo State government. We're here today to challenge the illegality of the government and to prove to the world that you cannot just, because you are a government, demolish a property that belongs to a legal organization. we are a well-registered organization, and the government should know that. So today we are here, 4th June of 2025, to challenge.
I kind of like that, though, because they believe that they have fundamental human rights. But in context, like that's what our parents called secret courts. You go to school and you join like people don't see them. They see that, you have to dodge. But they seems to be trying to stop that stigmatization, Nabi, by saying, yeah, we may have some bad eggs among us, but that doesn't make all of us bad people. You can't just use a blanket or a view to whip all of us, destroy our headquarters when we are legally registered. I mean, come on. So I like that. It's interesting, isn't it? Right. Let's go back to Lagos, okay? Yesterday I shared with you Wabi Wole, who were busy with his team clearing, the pile of rubbish dumped in the middle of the Lagos-Badagry Expressway, remember? That was yesterday, okay? Guess what? While they were there, still packing all of those things you saw in that video yesterday, right? I think they're on their way back, not far from that place. They saw big men with their cars, trucks. Guess what they came to do? To dump rubbish just by the roadside. Somebody said that, when you look at those who litter